Alright, so I finally got to see X literally just now, and of course I wanted to do a review on it because I missed doing a review on it before, because I've actually never seen it. Really the main reason I didn't see it is because it just didn't seem like the appropriate movie to take my brother or my girlfriend to go see. I know Pearl's coming out soon, and obviously that's a prequel to this movie, so I just thought it'd be the perfect time to go watch it and review it before the next movie comes out. And first thing I gotta say is, yeah, this has been a really good year for horror movies. Alright, so X has been out for a while now, so I'm just gonna go into spoilers and just talk about the stuff that I enjoyed, because there's not much that I didn't enjoy in this movie. There's so much that I actually really did enjoy. This movie is just a really fun, entertaining, great horror movie that you can actually watch multiple times, and there's so much symbolism and just metaphors thrown at you on the screen that it's a very enjoyable movie to watch and rewatch and just rewatch over and over again. And it doesn't seem like you're gonna get that from the start. It seems like you're just gonna get a very typical horror slasher movie, when really, I mean, it is an A24 film, and those are, you know, more elevated than most slashers. You get a couple of characters, a couple of people that want to make a porno movie, and they rent out an Airbnb, which kind of reminds me of Barbarian. But anyways, they rent out an Airbnb, or like this movie takes place in the 70s, so who knows what they call it back then. But yeah, they just rent out a place and they shoot their porno, and it turns out that the people living there are some sick psycho fucks. But this movie had so much heart and it had such great characters. I mean, let's be honest, you know, you think the stereotype is like, oh, a bunch of porn stars, you know, you get this idea that they're like a couple of idiots or really just mean people, you know, just dirty, raunchy, dark, messed up, nasty people. And that's really where they just flip the script. This movie is all about porn stars making a porno, and you really like the characters. And I just find that so fascinating, because it just like, it really just flips the switch. Because if you think about it, you think of other movies like Friday the 13th or something like that, you know, you get these people that aren't porn stars and are just, you know, the stereotype is that they're looking for sex and they get killed. And funny enough, those characters who might have some redeeming quality, you might say, are not likable. They have no characteristics behind them. There's no character built within the characters, and they're all just bodies for the killer to kill. And in this movie, you get a bunch of porn stars and just people, the director and the executive producer, and you get this feeling that they're actually trying to make art, that they're these kind people who are just making a porno. You know, it makes it seem like, oh, you know, it's not so bad. And it's crazy because they're so likable. These characters are so relatable and they're so enjoyable, and there's so much more to these characters than you would think. That you would think within the trailers, you know, it's just like, oh, it's just a slasher. It's just a dirty slasher movie. And I think in the movie he said something about making like a really good dirty movie or something like that. I don't remember. But yeah, the characters in here are great. They have like layers to them, where from the front you just think, oh, okay, they're just porn stars, or, you know, maybe they could be dumb or whatever. And they have a lot of heart. You know, one of them is in the military. Kid Cudi's in the military, or he was in the military. And, you know, he's got this just presence where he just seems so strong, so powerful, but at the same time he's very funny and helpful. And the same thing with the rest of these characters. You know, you think that there's few little details about them, when really there's so much more to them. And this movie just has so much heart. And that's just the, you know, the good people in a way. And then you get into the killers, which turn out to be the elderly people that own the house, own the house. And it turns out that they're killers, but, you know, you kind of understand. You understand. That doesn't mean you agree with what they do, but you understand what they do. And I think this movie really just plays, oh my god, I'm so sick. I think this movie just plays into the fact that we're all getting old, and they're really just looking at their younger selves. The older people are looking at their younger selves, and everybody is over there in the barn having a good time, and these older people are just suffering, only being able to watch because they know they can't do the things that they're doing. And in a way, it just makes them jealous. I mean, I'm sure as the movie goes on, it turns out that they've actually been doing this before. They've done it to somebody else before. So it's not like this is the first time they've done it, but it just goes to show that they are heartbroken, and they feel betrayed by life, that everything these younger people are doing, they can no longer do. And in a way, that's something we can all relate to, because we're all going to get old, and eventually we're all going to get to that point. But obviously, you know, the whole serial killer, that's just an exaggeration for the slasher film. But really, there's just so much going on in this movie, and it's so enjoyable. And then besides that, I mean, you get to the kills themselves. They're foreshadowed as hell. I mean, that's what I'm saying. You can watch this movie over and over again, and there's just so much to pick up from these. Jesus. Yeah, from these little scenes of dialogue at the beginning of the movie that really just give everything away that happens in the second half of this movie. I mean, once the carnage starts happening, once, you know, what the trailers have shown starts happening, it's, you know, it's a pretty fun, gory movie. But it's really the first half that got me hooked, that made me really enjoy the second half even more than I thought I would. You know, you think you're just gonna, like, oh, it's just gonna be a fun slasher, and I'm here for the kills. And no, I'm here for the characters. It's actually the kills that came in second, and it was just, you know, icing on the cake. You know, the characters, they were the cake. The kills, it was just the icing, and just the, you know, just the shocking factor of how bloody and gory this movie is, especially with that alligator kill. I mean, it's not even that gory, and they don't show it much because it's, you know, mostly in the dark, but it's still enjoyable, and it's still shocking, even though I knew that alligator kill was going to come. You know, they kept showing it for the longest, and it's like, that alligator kill is going to come to someone. But, yeah, besides that, this movie it's so great, and I can't wait to rewatch it. Hopefully, I know there's like a steelbook on it that's coming out in, like, I forgot, somewhere else. It's like in another country, so whenever it gets to the US, I'm definitely getting the steelbook. The reason I didn't buy the Blu-rays because I heard there was a 4K that was going to come out, so I thought I figured that I might as well just wait. Who knows when that's coming out, but that's why I haven't watched this movie, because I haven't really owned it. I kind of just watched it online. I had no other choice. But yeah, this movie's great, even though I would say the character that I kind of pissed me off just in the slightest was actually Jenna Ortega's character. Her character, you know, acted very well. I mean, it's Jenna Ortega. She has pretty much become a scream queen at this point. You know, she's implemented herself in the horror legacy. Not there yet. She's not one of the big ones yet, but she's definitely getting there. And yeah, I think it was towards the end how she was just acting like ridiculous and scared and crazy, to where she was blaming the victim. She was blaming, who was it, Mia Goth or Maya Goth. She was blaming her, and which obviously it led to a pretty funny death scene where she's just like, oh, screw you, you know, this is all your fault. And then she goes off running, and then she gets just her face fucking blown off. That was pretty funny, but something just took me out when I was like, okay, yeah, I understand. It's a crazy situation and you're scared, but running away from Mia Goth, the only person you can trust, is not the smartest move, and that kind of took me away from the movie a little bit, and that's really my only issue. The rest of the movie is just amazing. It's great. I love the foreshadowing. I love all the symbolism and all the metaphors, and you can just really just pick this movie apart and just look at all the little details and all the love and heart that was putting into this movie. This is a great movie. It's been out for a few months. I hope you've seen it already. If you haven't, go watch it, because Pearl's about to come out, and I can't wait to watch Pearl. But as always, thanks for watching.